Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video, I'm going to be listing off my top 10 favorite Slayer songs. Before I get into that though, I have a few honorable mentions, and those honorable mentions are South of Heaven. I love that title track. Didn't quite make it though. Um, Show No Mercy, the title track. Evil Has No Boundaries. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, the song Live Undead. All great songs, but they didn't quite make my top 10. Alright, now for the top 10. Number 10 is Behind the Crooked Cross from the album South of Heaven. A very, very good song, especially it's just an iconic guitar riff. So much so that when the people at id Software were developing the original Doom game, they took inspiration from that guitar riff. And because of that, on the very first level of the original Doom, that's there's a kind of a little bit altered, digitized version of that guitar riff. But yeah, just a great song, and it's one of their best. Um, Number 9 is World Painted Blood, the title track. It's probably the last great Slayer song. There hasn't and will probably never be. Yeah, because they're retired, so there'll never be another great Slayer song. After that. Um, it's so good that I don't know why the rest of the album sucks. Like, it's just that good. It's just mind-boggling. World Painted Blood, title track, it has that energy to it that, that a lot of the classic stuff does. And I love sort of the mid section of the song where, Tamuraya just kind of, in a way, starts rapping. It's very good. But yeah, World Painted Blood is at number 9. Number 8 is Raining Blood. Probably their most, I'd say, either first or second most popular song besides maybe Black Magic. But yeah, it's just a great song. It's a little short. To be honest, I wish it was a little bit longer, but I love it. The iconic guitar riff in it, and just Tom Araya, the way he delivers his vocals, it kind of seems just like he sounds like a man gone insane. But yeah, it's just a great epic song. But yeah, Raining Blood is at number 8. Number 7 is Aggressive Perfector, the bonus track on the Haunting the Chapel EP. This song kind of sounds like it would be on Show No Mercy. Has that sort of feel to it. But yeah, this song is kind of a short one, not too short, not as short as, let's say, like, I don't know, I'd say it's maybe a little tiny bit shorter than Raining, but it's a great song. There's a great groove to it, and I absolutely love it. Number 6 is the title track to the EP, Haunting the Chapel. Just another great groove-oriented song. Not too much groove-oriented. It is there with the riff in it. It has very sort of a sinister story to it, like for some reason, just like zombies are coming out of a graveyard and attacking a church. But yeah, it's just a great song. At number 5 is a song I recently started liking, and that's Cryonics from Show No Mercy. I don't know what it was. I don't know why it took me so long to like it. But after hearing the song on vinyl, it just, spark went off, and now I absolutely love this song. The midsection kind of reminds me of something from one of the early Iron Maiden songs, like Phantom of the Opera or something. Just a really good song. I don't know why it took me so long to like it. But yeah, Cryonics is at number 5. At number 4 is Black Magic, again from Show No Mercy. Another iconic Slayer song. Pretty much the only song that Slayer played live from the first album. Um, Other than maybe, I don't know, once in a while they would throw in the Antichrist or the title track Show No Mercy. But for the most part, they would just go with Black Magic. And yeah, it's a great song. The iconic opening riff that starts very, very, very quiet, then it gets louder and louder and louder and louder, then boom, the main part of the song starts. But yeah, just a great, great song, an absolute classic. Um, Number 3 is Metal Storm slash Metal Storm slash Face the Slayer. One of Slayer's most underrated songs. I don't think they ever played this one live, which is a shame because it's just so good. Such one of Slayer's most epic sounding songs, alongside songs like Raining Blood and World Painted Blood. Honestly, this would have been a great live song. It would have been great hearing it live, but I don't know why they pretty much ignored majority of the Show No Mercy album. Um, yeah, just an absolutely great song. I love how in the beginning it starts with this intro, like an an instrumental. It starts as an instrumental, then goes into the Face the Slayer half of the song, and it becomes a full-fledged song. I love how in the instrumental half of the first part of it, the sound kind of sounds like it's just sort of a downward spiral of sound. That's really cool, and I love the main song too, "Face the Slayer." It has it has kind of cheesy lyrics, but I don't care. It's a very good song. Um, all right, number 2, "The Antichrist," a somewhat popular Slayer song. It's not as popular as Black Magic or something like that, but it is a very good song. It's a song that once in a while Slayer would play live. Um, One thing to note, especially with a lot of songs from like Show No Mercy and Haunting the Chapel, something that I just kind of realized right now, is the fact that even though in certain songs on Show No Mercy, Tom Mariah would hit some very high notes, like after a while, like in terms of live shows, even when they did songs from Show No Mercy and Haunting the Chapel that had those high notes, he wouldn't do those high notes. I don't know why. Like they're part of the songs, part of some of these songs. I don't know why he just stopped doing the high notes. Um. Anyway, but yeah, the Antichrist is one of those classic Slayer songs, and one of the examples of Tom Mariah hitting some pretty high notes. Anyway, number 1, my favorite Slayer song of all time, "Tormentor," the most underrated Slayer song ever. This, out of any song on Show No Mercy, this is probably the most ignored, not just by fans, but by the band themselves. Um, Oddly enough, this was one of the earliest songs they ever wrote, considering that, one of the only footage of them playing it live was recorded at a time before the Show No Mercy album came out. And if you watch that recording and hear the song, it sounds slightly different than the album version. Like halfway through, it sounds like a completely different song. So I guess it was still in its uh, kind of demo phase where they're just kind of figuring out what worked with the song and what didn't. But yeah, I guess very, very, very early on, it was a common part of their live show, but then they sort of just stopped playing it altogether. Um, but it's just a great song. It actually, to me, it's a song that kind of sounds like Killers Part 2 in a way. Like the song Killers from Iron Maiden, it kind of feels like it kind of fits as like a Killers Part 2. It kind of has the same setup, some, killer or, creepy guy sort of stalking of his victims and stuff. Of course, killers being a killer stalking them and killing people in the subway, whereas this is like a serial killer stalking his victims in the woods late at night. But it almost seems like after the events of the song "Killers" by Iron Maiden, it's the same guy, but he just sort of escaped the murder scene and ran into the woods, and then just started up, stalking his next victim. But yeah, it just really feels like a Killers Part Two, and it really feels like the song "Tormentor" was at least musicality wise, in some aspects of the song, kind of feels like it was inspired by the song "Killers" by Iron Maiden. But yeah, it's just a great underrated song, and it's my favorite Slayer song. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.